my beautiful yogis, welcome to Yoga with Leif and this full body basic flow class. So this is for anyone who has practiced a little bit of yoga before. You are at least familiar with the basics, but you're looking for a really solid class that's going to be working your entire body. So we have a fairly easy and gentle warm-up that's going to be specifically activating the parts of the bodies that we're going to be working with today. And then we have a nice long flowing standing sequence. Before we finish off down on the floor, we're going to be doing some stretching, a little bit of core work before finishing off in Shavasana. So if this sounds like the right class for you, then get yourself ready and I'll see you on the mat. So we're starting sitting today, so come to a nice comfortable sitting position. You might want to sit on a blanket or a block or something to come a little bit higher up. Thinking the knees the same height as our hips roughly helps to sit a little bit straighter. Our gaze is falling down in front of us and then we're closing our eyes. So we're taking a moment here, bringing our awareness inwards and just listening. So noticing how the body feels. Noticing our feelings. Noticing your thoughts. What kind of thoughts are you having now? What kind of thoughts have you been having today? And if you would like to set an intention for today's practice, then you can do that now. So for those of you that would like to use the bandhas, the internal locks, the Mula Bandha, the area between your legs, Uddiyana Bandha, your stomach lock, you can start to activate these now. Feel that length up through your spine. And for those that would like to use the Ujjayi, the active, victorious breath, you can begin to explore that now. So closing the mouth, breathing in and out through your nose, and creating the sound of waves from the back of your throat. So relax the face, the shoulders, sending your breath into your chest, so expanding in every direction on the inhale and letting it come back in again on the exhale. So we're going to take a few breaths together here now, keeping this active breath going. If you find it a little bit difficult with your Ujjayi, then it's okay. The most important thing is that you're breathing. So if it's better for you to breathe with your mouth, then that's okay. So we're going to breathe in on 4 counts and breathe out on 4 counts. So breathing out now, getting ready. And breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, very nice, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, one final one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, very nice guys. So continue this breath going, so even inhale, even exhale. Bring your hands behind us, palms on the floor, and then opening the heart and chest up towards the sky. Now again, listening inwards, noticing how things feel and just doing what makes sense to you, feels natural here. So maybe pushing the weight a little bit from side to side or opening and dropping your chest towards the sky, maybe rolling with your shoulders, some yes/no movements with your head. Final breath here. And breathing out, coming back to sitting. And then we're going the opposite way. So bring your hands out in front of us. And again, going forwards with a straight spine. So no pain in the knees, the hips, the ankles. If there is, then you've gone a little bit too far, yeah? So just coming over and then listening to your body. Moving gently, maybe rocking, curving, straightening the back, rolling the shoulders. Just doing what makes sense to you here. Final breath. Breathing out, coming back to sitting. So we're going to spread the legs out to the side towards a little split. Now totally feel free to keep your knees bent. This makes it a little bit easier to sit here. But if you feel ready for it, then hands behind us, pushing the hips forward. So we feel a nice little stretch and activation on the inside of the thighs. Knees and toes pointing up, hands behind us still, opening the heart and chest. So same thing here, any movements that you feel like doing. But we are going to have active thighs and calf muscles, our legs. Then we're going to start to point and flex our feet as well. So beginning to activate the legs here. One final breath. Breathing out, coming back up and coming forwards, hands in front of us, walking forwards, leaning, and then any motions here, any movements that you feel you would like to do. 2 more breaths. And last breath here. And on the exhale, we're going to walk our hands over to our right side. So from here we have one hand, or we're going to try to have one hand on either side of our leg. Come a little bit further up if that's better for you, but we're finding a twist and length and active legs. Finding the pose here, we can relax, it's not too tense. So the hand that's behind us here, we're going to move it even further behind us. So notice here that it's not behind our back, yeah, but it's coming out from our leg. And then because we're going to use this here now to lean on to find a side stretch. So palm is down, the shoulder away from the ear, inside the elbows coming forward, and then you're going to bend the elbow down towards the floor, okay? So from here, opening the side to find a nice stretch in our side body. Stretching out the arm if that feels okay, finding some length out through the fingertips. Now, if you're too far over, if this is like, oh, really tense for you, then just come a little bit further up, yeah? Maybe you even have your hand down here. Okay, one final breath. We have a little flow here, so we're gonna breathe in, pressing down in this hand, opening the heart and chest upwards, maybe rotating through the arm as well, and breathing out, coming back. So rotating through the arm, curving over our leg in front of us. So in with the stomach, the ribs. Think we're curving over a ball or something on our lap here. Breathing in, opening up, 2 more. Breathing out, curving over. Last one, breathing in, opening up. And breathing out, coming over. Both hands down, walking over to the opposite side. So coming over here. Find the stretch, getting the body a little bit ready. Last breath. Okay, and our hand out again, right? A little bit out from the body and behind us. Palm down, shoulder away from the ear, inside the elbow forward, and then bending the elbow downwards so we can lean into it and open up the side body. 1, 2, and 3. So a little flow here. The next inhale, we're going to open the heart and chest upwards, rotating through the arm, breathing out, coming back down again, curving over. 2 more. Breathe in, open up. Breathe out, curving over. Last one. Breathe in. And out. Curving over, hands down, walk to the center. Then we're going to come back, collect the legs, shake them out a little bit. Okay, taking a moment here. So now I want you guys to sit on the middle of your mat, okay? And then your knees pointing out to the side here. So you're not facing, your toes aren't pointing like the long way of the mat, but or the short side of the mat, but rather on the long side of the mat, okay? So from here, from the side, we're going to drop both knees down to one side of the mat. Okay, again, so right from here, working on some mobility in the hips, just dropping both knees down. And then from here, we're going to stretch on the inside of our hips a little bit. So you can go over here. Now this is the pigeon pose, yeah, a modified pigeon. If you feel like going into the full version, then you can go ahead and stretch out the leg that's behind you. rolling over, keeping this leg underneath your chest so it's not too far out to the side. And then yogi's choice here. You can stay up here working the front of your thigh and your hip in a heart opener, or you can just come all the way over and lay over. 1, 2, and 3. So coming up, hands on the mat. So hands down, pressing, weight a little bit back in the leg behind us to free the front leg. Do any adjustments that you need to do here, bringing the sole of your foot down on the mat. So we're pulling ourselves forward here, go up on the ball of the foot in the back. We're gonna need that in a second. So pressing down, pulling forwards, pushing your hips forward and feeling a nice stretch in the front of your thigh. So staying down here, just noticing that we're active in the back. The bandhas, our core, is active. 2 more breaths, 2. And 3. Calming up with the body, resting the hands on the thigh. Feel like we're activating and working the legs a little bit more here. Last breath. Okay, so just a little gentle flow. We're gonna push down in the ball of our foot back there, trying to lift the knee a little bit up. So we feel, okay, we got the balance, coming a little bit higher up. So breathing out, dropping the knee down, touching the mat. Breathe in, come up. 2 more. Bring it down, and up, and down, and up. Very nice, guys. From here, straightening out the front knee a little bit, finding some length out over. So you might feel a bit of a stretch in the back of your thigh here, supporting ourselves on the knee, maybe on our leg. If we have some blocks, we can use those under our hands. Or if you have enough flexibility, you can bring your hands all the way down and go ahead and do that. 2 more breaths, 2. And 3. Okay, very nice. From here, bending the front knee, bring the hands down, opposite movements to get back and go to the other side. So laying your foot down, sitting down on the mat, right? Bending both knees, bringing them back up again, and then other side. So now we're sitting on the side of our mat, dropping both knees down, working over, or if we have the flexibility, the mobility for it, straighten out the left leg, and then again, yogi's choice. So stay up or work yourself over. You decide. 1, 2, and 3. Breathing out, coming up. Hands underneath us. Some weight in the hands, pushing back. Do the adjustments that you need to get the front leg down. Okay, so activating, finding that stretch in the front of your thigh. Long spine here. Even breath. 2. And 3. Pressing down a little bit extra in the legs, coming up with the body and the arms, just resting a little bit here. Okay, last breath. Getting ready to flow a little bit with the legs. So pressing down, especially in the ball of the foot, lifting the knee up, coming a little bit higher when you have control, and then dropping the knee down, coming up. Dropping the knee down 2, breathing in, coming up, and down, and up. And from here, straightening the knee, so really pushing down in the front leg there. So we're finding that stability, that activation, length out and over, and maybe a little bit of a stretch in the back of our thigh. So from here, we're coming all the way down, depending on your flexibility. So we don't want to be here with a curved back, yeah? If this is where you are, then I want you to come further up, because we're really working with and engaging the core here and the stability in our body. Okay, last breath. Bending the front knee, bringing the hands down. And then for here, we're just gonna bring our legs back to all 4 for some cat-cow. So, hands down on the mat, fingers, okay? Your middle finger and index finger pointing straight forward, so not all 4 fingers. Remember that slight external rotation. Pressing the hands down, inside of the elbows forwards without overextending. Okay, if you want to look over here, so don't overextend, but find that long straight line. Shoulders away from the ears, in with your stomach, in with the ribs, just a little bit, keeping them active. So this is our starting point. From here, we're gonna release the stomach and the ribs using our back muscles to open and arch, And then breathing out, relaxing the back, in with your stomach and your ribs, curving. 2 more, breathing in. And breathing out, pushing in the hands the whole way here. Breathing in. And breathing out. Coming back to the starting point. So we're gonna do some arm and leg raises or extensions. So without moving the weight back and forth, taking the right leg out, holding your core, lifting up the leg, and then lifting your right arm, or your left arm, sorry, the opposite. Breathing out, coming down. Other side. So start with the left leg, lifting up without dropping your back. Okay, keep that length. Right arm up this time. Breathing out, down. 2 more times to each side. Breathing out a little bit faster. Breathing out. Breathing in, up. Find the length through the heel and your fingertips. Breathing out. 1 last round. Breathing in. And out. Okay, breathing in. Remember these ideas of lengthening, breathing out, coming down. Some Chaturanga push-ups. Bringing the hands a little bit further forward, keeping that position, okay? Pointing finger, index finger, inside of the elbows, shoulders away. This is still just part of the warm-up, so be careful, watch your wrists. We're gonna do 3 of them, take a little break. So breathing out, bending, elbows into your body, coming down as far as you can without dipping your shoulders, okay? So keeping the shoulders down. Breathing in, come up, 2 more. Breathing out, coming down. Breathing in, last round. Breathe out, and breathing in. Okay, coming back onto our legs, hero pose just for a moment. Shake out those arms. How's it going? Last breath. We're gonna do 1 more round, 3 Chaturanga push-ups. Okay, coming forwards. Hands on the mat, finding the pose. Maybe if you feel ready for it this time, you'll go up on the balls of your feet, sending the weight a little bit more further forwards in your hands. And breathe out, lowering down, breathing in, coming up, and breathe out, breathing in. Last round, breathe out, breathing in. From here, push the hips up backwards to downward facing dog. So make some adjustments here if you need to. And again, you're sending the awareness inwards, listening to your body, and then just doing any movements or motions that feel delicious for you here today. So bending the knees, curving, rolling through the back, taking a few deep breaths. Last breath. And breathe in, gaze forward between your hands. Breathing out, bend the knees. Now, we're gonna walk the feet forwards to our hands, but I want you to keep weight in your hands the whole time. So you're constantly pushing away here, in with the stomach, finding length in your spine, walking forward, walking forward, walking forward. If you have bent legs, that's totally fine. So when we come forward with the feet, that's when we have a shift of weight into the feet. Hanging over here, Uttanasana, standing forward fold. And again, just listening, doing what feels nice. So bending, curving, twisting to the side. 2 more breaths. Okay, so a little flat back flow. We're bending the knees, hanging over, breathing in, coming halfway up, so our torso is parallel to the floor. So core is engaged, bringing the ribs in, activating. Finding length out through your tailbone, out through the top of your head, shoulders away from your ears. Length through the fingertips, inside the elbows forwards. Now if we can find a little bit more length in the legs, go ahead and do that. Breathing out, folding over. So breathing out 1 more time, coming up, activating. Breathing out, folding over. 1 last time. Breathing, come up. So this activation, breathing out, coming over, this is very important. We're going to be repeating this a lot throughout the whole class. Next time, breathing in here now, coming up through a flat back, arms out to the side, all the way up to standing and mountain pose. Okay. Doing any adjustments that you need to do here. Getting ready for sun salutation A. So with a few, we're doing 3 rounds. The first round a little bit slower, then we're gonna take up the tempo a little bit, but I have a couple of surprises when we get to downward dog. Okay, feet together or a little bit of space between, you decide. But from here, grounding through your feet, length out to the top of your head. The bandhas are on, length through your fingers. Breathing out and breathing in, arms up. Breathing out, folding forward, the longest, furthest way through that flat back, bending your knees if you have to. Hanging over. Okay, breathe in, halfway up, flat back. Breathing out, hands on the mat. Shift of weight into your hands, so you're pushing away. And then you're gonna start to gently walk the feet backwards to plank. Okay, now you might wanna drop your knees for this one. Chaturanga, lowering down. So just depending on how your arms are today, holding here for a second, feeling like we're activated. And breathing in, coming up to upward facing dog. So this might be your first one for today, right? We want it to be a little bit gentle. So you might not want to drop your hips too far, have a little bit of space between your legs, but notice your chest. Okay, we're not collapsing here. So shoulders away from your ears and then opening the heart and chest. Yeah? Here, if you have any pain in your lower back, you want to just activate your legs and your butt a little bit and find some length out through the top of your head. Last breath. And dropping the knees down in with the stomach, think of leading through your hips. And then we're gonna lift ourselves up to downward facing dog. Okay, so we find the pose, pressing in through the hands, inside of the elbows forwards, relax the head and neck. Now I'd rather see a straight spine here and some bent knees than bent knees and a curved back, okay? So try to find that length. Now from here, very important, pressing down in both hands, we're gonna lift up your right leg up to three-legged dog, just holding here, breathing out, coming down, other side. Left side, breathing in, lifting up, and breathing out, lowering down. Very nice. Drop both knees down towards hero pose, but we're gonna go move in towards puppy. So bring the hands a little bit further forward. And important now, okay, if the elbows are going out, then we're gonna be locking our skeleton here, and we won't be able to open up into the full range of motion. So inside of the elbows forward, pushing away, spreading those shoulder blades, and then dropping the chest down towards the floor. Your hips are about over your knees. So just taking a quick 2 breaths here. And breathing out, coming back up again, and finding downward facing dog. You might want to bring your hands a little bit closer, lifting up the knees, and from here, breathing, gaze forward, breathing out, bending both at the knees, and then again, walking slowly forwards, keeping the weight in your hands the whole way forwards. Until we get there, shift of weight, hang over for a second. Lengthen the spine, breathing in halfway up, flat back. Breathing out, folding over. And the next inhale coming all the way up to standing. And breathing out. Okay, very nice. One more round, a little bit quicker. Breathing in, arms up. Breathing out, calming down. Breathing in, finding length. Breathing out, hands down, jump or walk back to plank. Lowering down, chaturanga. Breathing in, upward dog. And breathing out, downward facing. Okay, lifting the right leg one more time here. So up through three-legged dog to then opening the hips, except for, don't twist through your whole spine. So keeping the chest and your armpits facing downwards. Breathing out, closing the hip, and the leg is coming down. Left side, breathe in, lift the left leg up, sending out through the heel, open the hips, breathing out, twisting back down, lowering the leg. This time we're working towards Dolphin Pose, so your right arm, right? A test here to see that the inside of the elbows are pointing forwards. You're bending the right arm and sending your elbow down towards the floor, but still pushing down in both your hands. Very important here. Okay, stretching coming up, other side. Left elbow down, stretching coming up. Breathing, gaze forwards. Breathe out, bend both knees, walk, or do a little hop forwards. Breathing in, length. Breathing out, folding over. And the next inhale, all the way up, standing and down. Okay, last round. Breathing in, arms up. Breathing out, coming forward. Breathe in, active, length. Breathing out, hands down. Maybe floating or jumping all the way back to chaturanga. Breathe in, upward dog. Breathing out, downward facing. Now a little bit further, finding the pose. Right leg is coming up, breathe in. Open the hip, scorpion leg this time. So bend the knee, point the foot, really opening the front, opening there in the hip.
front of the hip. Breathing out, straightening, flexing, closing the hip, lowering the leg. Other side, right leg coming up, breathe in. Open the hip, bend the knee, point the foot. Think your heel is coming back to your butt, and breathing out, stretching, closing, bringing down. This time, Dolphin Pose, bending both your arms at the same time so your elbows are coming down. Now we don't need to come all the way down, that's totally fine. Understandable if you can't get there yet, but we're working down, 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 down. Okay, holding one breath, and breathing out, pressing down in the hands, coming up, gaze forwards, breathing out, bending, hopping, jumping, coming forwards. Breathe in, find length. Breathing out, folding over. Breathing in, coming all the way up to standing, and out, hands down. Okay, very nice guys, shaking out. Take a little breath for yourself. Getting ready here, next pose, Kunasana. So we're working some length and flexibility in the back of our legs. So feet together, standing about hip width apart, breathing in, gazing up, finding length, breathing out, folding forwards from the hips. Now from here, you might want to bend your knees. You might want to support your hands in some blocks. Support your hands on your legs. If you can, grab your big toes with the 2 fingers. Breathing in, find that length. Straightening the knees if you can. Keep this length, this flat back. Yeah, shoulders down, inside elbows forward. And then pulling yourself over. 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Breathing in, coming halfway up. Breathing out, hands to the hips, all the way breathing out, pushing down through the feet, coming up with the body. All right, very nice. Kunasana. So standing forwards, we're gonna open up to the side. From here, yeah, really nice long wide stance. You're gonna rotate the right foot, pointing to the short side of the mat, bending your knee so your knee is over your heel or your ankle, and then maybe you want to go a little bit deeper in the pose. That was really common to start leaning over here, closing your hips. We're going to try to have the toes pointing right out to the side. That's going to help us to open up the hips, but being careful that we don't drop the knee inwards. So arms out, breathing in and breathing out, leaning over, just a gentle support on my thigh here, and finding a long diagonal line through the left body. 2 and 3. So, Pavrita, Kunasana. From here, watch on the back foot, some fancy footwork, rolling over onto the ball of your foot, dropping your hip, breathing in up with the upper body. And then from here, you might want to drop the back knee if that's a little bit easier for you. We're gonna cross the elbow over to the opposite side of your knee, finding length through your spine, hands together, and then we're gonna go in the twist. Okay, so if your knee is down, you can try to see doing what we did at the beginning of the class, pushing some weight down on the ball of your foot, and maybe you can lift that knee up, okay? Keeping your hips low. 2 and 3. Breathing out, gazing down, pushing through the feet, coming up, rotating over to the other side. So left toes, bending the leg, long wide stance, breathe in, breathing out, coming over, opening the side body. So trying not to lean over, same as in the beginning of the warm-up, right? When we were doing the splits, pushing down on that back hand and opening the side body. 2 and 3. Pavrita Kunasana. Over on the top of your foot, dropping the hips a little bit lower, coming up, finding that length, keeping that length, coming over, drop that back knee if you want to, or stay up. Okay, find the twist, and then hands together. 1, 2 and 3. Breathing out, gazing down, pressing down into the front foot, coming up, opening to the side, Prasarita Konasana A. So a little bit shorter stance. From here, active, breathing in, find length. Breathe out, hands to the hips. Breathing in, opening the heart and chest, keeping this length, and then folding forwards all the way down. Now, from here, dropping the hands down to the floor, bend the knees if you have to, keeping this length. On the next inhale, okay, maybe you have your hands the same line as your feet, and breathing out, keeping this length, and then coming over. 5 breaths. 1, 2 Finding length on the exhale. 3. Keeping the weight forward in the front of your feet. 4. The bandhas are on. And 5. Breathing in, coming halfway up, activating. Breathing out, hands to the hip, full exhale, come all the way up to standing. Okay, Prasarita Konasana, se. So breathing in, arms out, hands come back, so we're clasping the fingers, or you might want to grab your forearms. Breathing in, opening the front body, so we're using our back, bringing the shoulder blades together, find that length, and on the exhale, we're leading with our hands, and then folding forward, coming over. Noticing that we're not leaning into our heels, but keeping that weight forward. And try to relax around the shoulders here, and just let the arms drop more and more down towards the floor. 3. 4. And 5. Breathing in, come all the way back up to standing, and releasing the pose, shaking it out, coming to the front of our mat. Making any adjustments here that you need to. Taking one breath for ourselves. Noticing your thoughts, your feelings. Okay, so we're going to be engaging, working the upper body a little bit more here. So taking a little step back to around the middle of our mat. Working through chair pose with Katasana, so it's not so important how we're working here. We're going to be focusing more on an arm balance, okay? So we're just doing this to come down to the floor. Now, notice my hands. They're coming down, not straight down, but out in front of me. So far in front that I have to lean into my hands. See that shift of weight there? So leaning into the hands, same position, elbows, shoulders, pushing away. And then I'm going to lean a little bit more weight into my hands, sending the hips even further up, and just holding here. Noticing the weight. 2 and 3. Pushing back, coming to standing, up with the torso, shaking out the arms. So we have a couple more rounds, and we're going to go gradually a little bit further, a little bit deeper each time. Okay, so you just stop when you feel like, yeah, this is where you want to be and this is where you want to work. So coming down one more time, hands down on the mat, leaning in, pushing away. See if you can lift up one leg. Your heel is coming towards your butt. Hold, hold, hold. Dropping the foot down, lifting up the opposite foot, and dropping down, and coming back onto your feet, up to chair pose, shaking out those arms. Okay, 2 more rounds. Breathing out, coming back down again. So more towards Bakasana this time, hands a little bit closer, pushing down. We have a little bend in the elbows. The knees are coming to the outside of the upper arms or on the upper arms. Okay, gaze is far forward. And we're just gonna lean a little bit forward into the hands like we were just doing. Try to pick up one foot, lowering down. Try to pick up the other foot, lowering down, and then coming back, chair pose, shaking out the arms, taking a minute here. Gosh, well, I'm definitely building up some heat in my body. Breathing out, coming down. Last round, full Bakasana, or maybe you go into crane pose, and then we bring the knees into our armpits. So holding there, 1, 2, keeping the feet together in the back, and 3, breathing out, dropping the feet, coming up through chair pose, straightening the legs, shaking out. Okay, very nice, guys. Bringing the feet forward, so we have a fine little flow here before a little balance pose, and then we're coming down to sitting. So, feet together, toes together, heels behind our feet, spread the toes, feeling that foundation, the length, and out to the tips of your fingers. Taking a long step back towards a long pyramid pose. It's a really long position, keeping a little bit of space between the feet. Here, bringing your hip forward, hands in the hips, breathe in, find some length. Breathing out, keep this length and come forwards, forwards, forwards. So, activating the legs, finding a stretch in the back. If you start bending anything here, then you've gone too far, okay? So keep that active, that length and that stretch, without resting in the back of your knee. Very nice. So from here, breathe out, press down on the feet, come back up again. Bending the front knee, going up on the ball of your foot, and then deepening the pose a little bit. So bring your hips down, bend the back knee if you have to. So the front leg really engaged here, and then finding some length out through your heel. From here, holding,
bring your hands up in front of our heart if you want to go a little bit further. And then full focus in your toes and in the ball of your foot, so the front of your foot. Pressing down in that area. See if you can lift your heel up a little bit. And dropping down. Very nice. Hands stretching up towards the sky. And then think length out through the fingers. You working your back and doing a little arch backwards. So think your heart up towards the sky. Leaning back, 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 back. And then breathing out, coming back up again. Stay low. Opening up to warrior two. So from here, the back leg. Just opening up. See the foot. Fancy footwork. Stretching out through the arms. Holding here. Find the pose. Nice and strong, nice and solid. Okay, getting ready for half moon pose. So gaze down in the front, a little bit in front of you. We're gonna shift the weight into the front foot. So we can bring our hands down to the side, make it a little bit easier. And then jump in, the back leg. Find that balance, pushing down to the whole foot, especially active inside of the thighs. Try not to drop the hips, so we're stacking our hips. Straightening, finding length through both of the heels, top of your head. And if you're ready to go in the full pose, you can go ahead and do that. Last breath. Bending the front leg. Your back leg coming up far behind us. Straightening up, opening up to the long side of the mat. Towards me here, the screen, for goddess pose. So feet, knees pointing out to the side. Okay, make sure that we don't have our feet so far out that we're dropping in and laying the weight on the inside of our feet. So we want the whole sole of your feet down. Okay, so from here, dropping the hips, bending the knees, keeping them in the same direction as your toes. Hands, we can rest them here, giving our legs a little break, and we have a little twist action. So twisting to the one side, breathing in, breathing out, coming back. Breathing in, other side. Breathing out, coming back. 2 more. Breathe in and out. Really working the hips here. Breathing in, keeping those legs out to the side and out. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Very nice. Straightening both legs now. Okay, check this out. Fancy footwork. We're going to do everything towards the other side. So the back leg, the one that we were starting with, we're going to twist, turn that inwards. Okay, you got that? So just turn it in. Then the front leg, we're just going to turn that towards the front. Maybe make a little adjustment here to get both the hips pointing towards the other side. Hands on your hips. Active legs. Find that length. Breathing out, bending in the hips, coming forwards. Holding here, 3 counts. 1, 2, and 3. Pushing down into the feet, coming up with the front body. Bending the front knee. Going up on the ball of the foot, getting a bit of a deeper pose here. So really working with the stability in the legs, finding that those strong legs, yeah? So we're not dropping the knees anywhere, really stable here. Find some length out to the back, stretching maybe the front of your thigh. Maybe bring your hands up in front. And again, full focus, your toes and the ball of your foot, pressing down. See if you can lift your heel up a little bit. So you're gonna be working your calf muscles like crazy here. And dropping the heel down. Very nice. Stretching the arms up. And then releasing a little bit in the front body to allow ourselves to come into that heart opener, that back bend. Breathing out, coming back up, and then opening up to warrior two. So keep the arms where they are. Just opening the leg and the hip, and then lowering the arms down. Finding that length, that activation. Okay. So now we're definitely ready for half moon on the other side. So gaze down, find the point, jump in, or maybe if you feel ready for it, then you just come straight in to the balance pose. Holding 2, and 3, and then bending the front knee, the front leg, standing full control, wide position through warrior 2, stretching, opening up, and coming into goddess pose one final time. Taking one quick moment, a couple deep breaths. Finding the calm, finding the presence in your body. Yeah. Where are you? Where are your thoughts? So a little flow here. Bending the knees, calming down. Hands can be here, working a little bit harder here, working even harder is going to be up above you. Okay, now from here, pressing down, right foot into your toes and your heel, into your ball of your foot. See if you can lift your heel a little bit up. And now see if you can lift it all the way up. And lowering down, other side. So pressing down into your toes in the ball, lift up your heel,
Full control, keeping those knees out to the side, all the way up, dropping down. Okay, other side, one more time. Pressing down, lift up, all the way up. Now, other side, see if you can lift it up. Other side, just the heel, just a little bit. Find that balance, and dropping down. Very nice. Okay, other side, pressing down, toes, heel, lifting up, lifting all the way up. Find that control. Pressing down the other side, lift up a little bit, and breathing out, lowering down. Okay, one last time, both sides at the same time. So push down on your toes, the balls, lift up the heels a little bit. See if you can go all the way up, hold. Woo! Find that balance, really working with your hips. Breathe. And breathing out, lowering down, straighten the legs, come forward. Woo! Shaking out those feet. Very nice, guys. Okay, all right. Yes, very nice, everybody. Well done. Now we've definitely gotten through most of the difficult part. We're gonna just hang out, have a little bit of fun in standing in a balanced pose and dancer before we come down to sitting for a little bit. Yeah, take it a little bit easy, stretch out, and get ourselves ready for Shavasana. So from here, we're beginning with the big toes together. Again, heels behind our feet, yeah? So we're not doing this, the heels together and having that little turnout in the legs, but finding those parallel legs underneath us, okay? Again, foundation, length, active out through the fingers. Your left hand can just come to your hip, moving the weight into your left foot, so you're freeing the right foot. Then you're gonna lift up here, and you're grabbing either your leg or the top of your foot, keeping the knees, the inside of the thighs together. So make sure we're not dropping the hip, finding that length. Now, the hand that's holding the foot, you want to rotate that shoulder that we've been working with today, right? That external rotation, getting the elbow forwards to create the open space to get into the pose. So from here, pushing your foot into your hand as much as you can. When you feel like, okay, that feels like enough, making sure the knee isn't going out to the side. So keeping that line just going straight behind us. And we can start to bend the hip a little bit and come forwards. Now if we're standing here, then you might want to lift out the other hand, do a little mudra, holding here, 3, 4, and 5. Breathing out, full control, coming out of the pose, shaking it out. Okay, getting ready for the opposite side. Toes together, spreading the feet, spreading the toes. We have a big, larger area to stand on, shifting the weight. Feel that foundation, the length, grabbing the foot, inside of the thighs together, knees together, opening the hip, that rotation, pressing the foot into our hand, and then we start leaning forwards, and then maybe lift the hand up. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Breathing out, coming out of the pose, dropping down, shaking it out. Very nice, guys. Very well done. All right, standing forwards, simple little vinyasa, back to downward facing dog. So from here, getting ready, breathing out, and breathe in, arms up. Breathing out, folding forwards through that flat back. Breathing in, gaze forwards. Breathing out, hands down, jumping, floating, or walking back to plank, chaturanga. Breathe in, upward dog. Breathing out, downward facing. And from here, we're just gonna drop our knees down to the floor, coming to standing on our knees. Now, if this pose, we're gonna do camel or Kunasana. If this pose is very difficult for you to stand on your knees, then you can do it sitting on the floor and then work here instead, okay? So yogi's choice, be careful with your body. Parallel legs, about a hip width apart. Go up on the balls on the back feet here. Find that long spine activation. Mula Bandha Uddiyana Bandha. Our hands are coming to the part between our lower back and our butt. So we're not pushing our hips forward here, but just using it as support. Working the back body, shoulders down, away, open the chest. Think of sending the heart upwards towards the ceiling. And then we're gonna start leaning backwards, not pushing the hips, but just leaning a bit backwards. Holding here for 5 breaths. Or if you know the full position and you want to come in, then your hands are going to come down to your heels. And again, opening the chest, setting the heart up, and then sending the hips forwards. Working the back of the thighs, your butt, and your back here. Be careful with your neck, no problems. We're at least at like 4 now, I think. 4. And 5. Breathing out, pushing down on the feet, activating the stomach now to come up. Careful, full control, careful with your back. I know this could be a lot for a lot of people. Take a minute here if you need it, okay?
Gently coming down, finding downward facing dog again. And then we're gonna come to sitting. So for those of you that jump through, can go ahead and do that now, or else breathing in here, gaze forwards, breathe out, bend the knees, jump, hop or walk forward, crossing the legs, sitting down, and straightening up the legs in front of us. Okay, Shavasana here. I'm just gonna adjust so that you guys can see me better. Right leg, we're lifting up, externally rotating. Okay, so we're opening up in the hip here to create this motion, bringing the foot in, pressing the sole of your foot against the inside of your thigh or your leg, or just have it out to the side here if it doesn't feel good for your knee, yeah? But what we want to try to do is find this rotation in our hip, which is bringing the knee down to the sides. We're not twisting our knees and making it uncomfortable for ourselves, yeah? Okay, active legs, hands down by the side, finding the length, maybe bring the arms up, breathing out, folding forwards. So yogi's choice, how you want to hold here, but breathing in, finding length, and 5 breaths. 2, 3. Making sure we're laying parallel over here. We're not opening up the side body, yeah? So trying to keep the whole chest pointing downwards towards the floor. 4, 5. Breathing out, coming up. Modified Majasana set. So a little twist, bringing the sole of your foot down in front of you or crossing over. Okay, goes a little bit deeper here, but keep your knee and your thigh a little bit further in front of you so that you can actually sit up with a straight spine. And then we're gonna twist. So opposite knee and arm is gonna grab here. Then we have a little pressure between the knee and the arm to help us sit up straight and then find that twist. So opening the heart and chest to the side, keeping the shoulders away from your ears, and then maybe gazing behind you. 5 breaths here. 1. Keeping an active leg here in front of us. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Breathing out, releasing the pose. And we're gonna do the opposite side. I'm just adjusting here so you can see a little bit different. So Shasana, the other leg. So lifting up, doing that rotation, coming in, pressing, okay, finding that length. Maybe use the arms up, breathing out, coming forwards. Yogi's choice, how you wanna hold. It's up to you here. Breathing in, find that length, and then breathing out, folding over. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Calming up, and a twist. So foot down, crossing over, you decide, find the length, opposite arm, grabbing, pushing against, finding that twist, opening up the side body. 1, 3, 4, and 5. Breathing out, releasing, coming forwards here, adjusting, sitting a little bit further forward on the mat, making sure we have some mat behind our back. We're gonna do a little core flow here, just a short little round. So coming up, this is, we're gonna be going from boat pose down to half bridge, and we're only doing it once, so you decide how full or how deep you want to go into the pose, yeah? So from sitting here, straight spine, in with the stomach, in with the ribs, we're gonna try to balance on our butt, so lifting up the legs, finding the pose, coming up, keeping the legs together, shoulders down, length through the fingers. Maybe you wanna stretch the legs all the way out. And 1, 2, 3, 4. How's it going, guys? And 5. You still with me? Here, breathing out, bend the knees, bring the feet down. Now, pay attention. Curving the back, sending the fingertips forward, and then we're gonna roll down gently here, vertebrae after vertebrae, until we're laying down on our back. So a little extra challenge for your core here. Okay, soles of the feet on the mat, knees pointing up, arms along our side, and then our fingertips are just touching our heels. So pressing down into the feet, the arms, continue this pressing motion and bringing the hips upwards. From here you can go a little bit further, clasping the hands, bring the shoulder blades together, and maybe you can come a little bit higher up. So you might recognize this pose a little bit from what we just did from standing on our knees. It's kind of the same position, yeah? We're just doing it slightly different. So we were standing on our knees and now we're doing it laying down, but we're still working with the back body. So think the back of your thighs, a little bit of your butt, and then a lot in your back. Relaxing your stomach and your ribs here. Opening the front body. 3. Finding the pose. 4. Deep breath. And 5. Very nice. Releasing the hands, curving the back, and gently rolling down. Okay, grabbing our legs, rocking a little bit back and forth, massaging the back into the mat. Very nice, guys. Very well done. So we just have a very nice, gentle Vinyasa left before we have a couple of poses laying on our back here before finishing in Shavasana. So since we're now getting towards the end of the class, you can just think, gentle, ease, relax, just taking it easy here and not engaging the body so much, okay? You've definitely deserved it. So we're rolling up in our own tempo, coming to a plank. So whatever's the easiest way for you. Maybe you even want to do it on your knees. Chaturanga. Breathing in, coming up with the body, upward dog. Breathing out, back again. Through downward dog, and then gently back to laying down. So just resetting the body here. Getting it ready to relax. Finding happy baby, Ananda Balasana. So with a long straight spine on the mat, so we're going to bring our hands, yogi's choice, back your thighs, knees, legs, feet, or toes. Keeping that long straight spine without lifting our butt up towards the ceiling, but keep it down. Relaxing the hips and dropping the knees, the thighs down towards the mat. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Dropping the feet down, knees pointing up. We're going to find the twist, so keep the length in your spine, and then you can decide here, drop your knees right down to one side, or if you want to go a little bit deeper into the twist, then you bring your right leg over, crossing them, keeping the thighs together, and then dropping both knees down. Okay, try not to adjust your hips or your shoulders here. So we're going into that full twist, kind of the same thing as when we were sitting in the twist earlier, right? And also standing positions. You want to find that length first before you go into your twist. Then you can go ahead and stretch out the right arm and let your gaze fall over your hand. 3. 4. And 5. Breathing out, bringing the knees up. Maybe use your hand for some help. If it's a little bit like, woo, craziness going on in your back right now, then take in your own time, it's okay. We have plenty of time here. Crossing over, going to the other side, coming down. I know a lot of this work, a lot of working with your spine and twists can be quite intense, yeah? Like can be a lot that's happening. It's very common to have a lot of tension around your spine and not being having too much mobility there. But that's why we do yoga. 2. Deep breaths. 3. Relaxing the stomach, the hips, the legs, your back. 4. And 5. Breathing out, coming back again. Use your hand if that makes sense and feels better. Last pose here before Shavasana Butterfly. Bringing the soles of your feet together, dropping the knees. You decide where your feet are. Yeah, your hands can rest on the inside of your thighs as a weight, or you can just have them out from your body, or maybe cactus arms, having them over your head. If you have them over your head, I like to actually bring the index finger and the middle finger together. Just a little bandha here. Helps to keep the arms there and open up the chest and around your armpits a little bit more. 3, 4, and 5. Breathing out. So final adjustments for Shavasana, or if you're ready, then just go ahead and stretch out those legs. Bring the arms down, a little bit out from our body. Palms facing up. Find a pose where you can just fully relax here. So no active stretch, just total relaxation. When you find the pose, we're going to do a final little breathing here together. Breathing in 4 counts and breathing out on 8 counts. So it's a really simple breathing technique here that really helps to relax the body, and it's a great thing to do before resting, Shavasana, or a nap, or even going to sleep. So here, breathing out and breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out 8 counts. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in 4, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Beautiful, guys. So from here, I'm going to give you guys a few minutes in quiet. I'm just going to grab my watch so I can take the time. So we'll take 5 minutes to rest here now. Moving the awareness into your body. Just listening. Feeling the weight. All the areas of your body that are meeting the mat. And you can imagine for every exhale that you're releasing more and more of the weight of your whole body into these areas. So every exhale, we're sinking deeper and deeper into the mat, becoming more and more relaxed, more and more at ease. Okay, yogis, you can start to come back from where you are, gently moving the body, taking a few deep breaths. And in your own tempo, when you're ready, you can roll over to one of your sides. And then trying to keep the calm feeling inside of us, thinking of the easiest way to come up to sitting. Finding a nice, comfortable sitting position, some length in our spine, keeping the eyes closed, and taking a moment to just listen. Observe. And being grateful for this moment. Bringing our hands together in front of our heart. Thank you all very much for today. Namaste. Okay. Yeah, that was it. Thank you guys so much for joining me today in this practice. I'd be really curious to hear how it went with you guys, so let me know down below. And if you got something with it, maybe share it with a friend. It's a great way to support this channel and free yoga here on YouTube. So, and if you haven't subscribed already, then maybe go ahead and do that too. All right, guys, thank you so much. Peace, namaste. Have a fantastic day. Well, I feel great. Yeah, that's pretty good.